News and Events COVID-19 on from July 22 and July 26 vertical line KCVC note. This is a collaborative video made between Travel for All Fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most as follows. 1. Updated global COVID-19 on July 26, 2020. The World Health Organization, WHO, recorded a worldwide record increase in COVID-19 infections on July 24, with 284,196 COVID-19 cases within 24 hours. The number of coronary deaths increased by 9,753, the highest increase since the end of April. Meanwhile, according to worldometers.info, as of 18 July 25, Asia time, 16.185.100 people worldwide have COVID-19, 643,399 died and 9,763,099 people recovered. 2. News from the U.S. The National Zoo in Washington was partially open for the first time in more than 4 months to close because of the COVID-19 epidemic to welcome visitors on July 24 despite local authorities expanding measures against the coronavirus. Then, according to Reuters, some parents took their children to the zoo, considering it a relief for the children after months of being locked up in the house. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser said July 24 that anyone from the COVID-19 hotspot to the District of Columbia must be isolated for 14 days. The U.S. recorded 72,316 new infections and 1,001 deaths from COVID-19 on July 24. More than 4.24 million people are currently sick and 148,350 people die from the pandemic. 3. Brazilian news. Sao Paulo, Brazil's largest city, on July 24, decided to postpone the 2021 Carnival tradition amid the complicated COVID-19 epidemic in the country. Carnival is a traditional Brazilian multi-day holiday, with colorful parades taking place in hundreds of cities across the country. Currently, Brazil has more than 2.3 million cases of COVID-19. 4. French news. The French Ministry of Health said on July 24 that the country recorded a record number of infections within the past 24 hours of 1,130, showing that the rate of COVID-19 infection is rising again after the government relaxed measures. Anti-epidemic. This is the second consecutive day France witnessed a number of new cases per day over 1,000. On the same day, France announced that it would require people from 16 countries at high risk to present a COVID-19 test paper before entry. France also advises citizens not to travel to Catalonia region of Spain to limit the spread of coronavirus. 5. News Korea. South Korea on July 25 recorded 113 new cases of coronavirus, including 86 imported, bringing the total number of national infections to 14,092, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, KCVC. The number of new cases on July 25 was the second highest since March 31, when South Korea recorded 125 new cases. Today is also the first time Korea has recorded more than 100 new infections since April 1. 6. Hong Kong news. Hong Kong saw a new record high for the fourth consecutive day. Hong Kong recorded 133 new cases of coronavirus today, the fourth consecutive new record high. Health authorities said there were 126 cases of community infection, including 55 cases of unknown source of infection. Currently, Hong Kong has recorded a total of 2,505 cases of coronavirus infection and 18 deaths. 2 more cases today. 25/7. UK news. The British government on July 25 urged its citizens not to go to Spain and remove the country and the Iberian Peninsula from the list of safe places for tourism after the COVID outbreak. -19 new. According to the British Transport Department, from 23 July 25, local time, any citizen returning from vacation in Spain will have to quarantine themselves. People on vacation in Spain are urged to return home as usual and update the recommendation from the British Foreign Office. 8. German news. Germany may require a mandatory COVID-19 screening test for passengers returning from high-risk countries. This is a statement made by the Federal Minister of Health Jens Spahn on 25 July as the number of new cases in the country has risen to the highest level in the past 2 months. Speaking on Radio German, Minister Spahn said the German government wanted to do everything possible to stop the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic while ensuring respect for the basic rights of the people. In addition, Berlin is considering the possibility of requiring a mandatory COVID-19 test for a specific individual because this action is thought to violate the freedom of every citizen. According to Spahn, courts in Germany are reviewing and examining all preventive and epidemic measures to ensure that they do not affect basic rights. The German Federal Minister of Health's statement was issued in the context of the number of new cases in the country on July 24, which increased sharply with 815 cases, the highest level since mid-May. There, according to figures from the German Institute of Epidemiology Robert Koch, RKI, the number of new cases of COVID-19 was recorded on July 25, despite a slight decrease compared to the previous day, but still high, with 781 cases. 9. Japanese news. In Japan, Tokyo has reported 295 more cases on 25 July. This is the 5th consecutive day the number of new cases in this city is over 200. The total number of infections in Tokyo is currently 10,975 cases. Tokyo Mayor Yuriko Koike continued to urge people to wear masks, take preventive measures and avoid going out if they are not needed during the 4-day holiday season. She said the number of people in their 20s and 30s now accounts for about 60% of the cases, but the disease is also spreading among 40, 50-year-old groups from the city center to Tama district, west of the capital. She also raised the city's pandemic alert to the highest level on a 4-level warning scale, which meant that the disease was spreading. Meanwhile, a number of other urban areas also reported a sharp increase in the number of cases since Japan completely eliminated a national emergency by the end of May. The total number of cases in Japan to date is about 30,000 cases, including about 700 on the Diamond Princess cruise, which was isolated off Yokohama in February. 10. Vietnam news. Bulletin at 6 a.m. on July 26 of the National Steering Committee for Epidemic Prevention COVID-19 said that there was one more case of COVID-19 in Da Nang City. Vietnam currently has 418 cases. Patient 418 is a male, 61 years old, currently living in Phan Binh Ward, Hai Cha District, Da Nang City. The patient, who was confirmed positive for COVID-19 nights 25 July, is being treated in isolation at the Department of Positive Recovery, Da Nang Hospital, undergoing mechanical ventilation. Da Nang is implementing measures to investigate epidemiology, isolation, regional cavity and quarantine. The Ministry of Health has established 3 special working teams of the Ministry of Health to support the prevention and control of COVID-19 in Da Nang City. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fantage respectfully, and see you in the next video.